China is one of the largest countries in the world. Its great size makes it home to several different types of environments. China has 11 deserts, but its biggest and most important one is the Gobi Desert. The Gobi Desert is located in northern China and also takes part of southern Mongolia. The desert stands at an elevation of more than 5,000 feet. The Gobi belongs to the category of cold deserts, which its summers reaching temperatures as high as 100 degrees Fahrenheit and its winters getting to an extreme of negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. The average annual temperature for the desert is 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which is relatively cold. The Gobi Desert receives 2 to 8 inches of rain per year. The color of the soil in the Gobi Desert is mostly grayish-brown. The soil is rich in carbon and contains gypsum, coarse gravel, and sandy salt marshes. The Gobi Desert has a great variety of plants and animals. Due to the harsh climate of this desert, plants and animals have adapted to be able to live in the environment. Some examples of plants that have adapted are the saxaul tree, the saltwort, the wild onions, and the tamarisk shrubs. The saxaul tree is the only available water source in the desert. This tree has water reserves stored behind its bark to keep it from dehydration. Its bark is spongy and easily absorbs water. This tree is almost leafless and has tiny leaves so that it doesn't use its water on the leaves. The saltwort lives in the salty areas of the Gobi, therefore it has created a high tolerance for salt. This plant also adapted to have longer roots that go deep into the earth and gather moisture. The wild onions have made its leaves become denser and more compact to prevent desiccation. The tamarisk shrub has become very tolerant to salty conditions. It also has a high tolerance for all types of harsh conditions, which makes it difficult to be extinct. Several animals like the Bactrian camel, golden eagle, musk ox, and plate-tailed gecko have adapted to the harsh conditions of this biome. The Bactrian camel has 2 humps in its back where it can store fat and convert it into water. Also, the camel rarely sweats to prevent wasting water. The back sweats to prevent wasting water. Both the Bactrian camel and the musk ox have developed thick coats of fur that protect them from extreme cold. Both animals shed their coat during the summer. The golden eagle has adapted to be able to endure the extreme cold and the intense heat that are present in the Gobi. Also, the plate-tailed gecko has adapted to live in holes that go 3 feet deep into the ground. They do this to protect themselves from the heat, the cold, and the predators. The Gobi Desert is a place with one of the richest wildlife in the world. Even though it is a desert, like in every environment, in the Gobi Desert, food webs are divided into producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. In the Gobi, primary consumers are usually grasses like the ephedra and plants like the wild onions that are food sources for herbivores through the desert. In this desert, most primary consumers are herbivores like the camel, which can go long periods of time without food. Secondary consumers can be the musk ox and the Gobi. Secondary consumers in the Gobi are animals that are both omnivores and carnivores that feed from small animals. Secondary consumers can be the musk ox and the Gobi bear. Tertiary consumers like the snow leopard are large predators that feed from secondary and primary consumers. A specific food chain in the Gobi Desert is the one of the snow leopard. The snow leopard are tertiary consumers that prey of other animals. They are also the highest animal in the Gobi Desert food chain. The snow leopard can feed of secondary consumers like the ox, which feeds of plants, but mostly primary consumers like the gecko. The plate-tailed gecko feeds on producers like the ephedra grass. Humans have done several actions to hurt the desert biome in China, primarily the Gobi Desert. Desertification is the biggest threat faced by the Gobi Desert. Humans have destroyed thousands of acres of fertile land and turned it into a desert. Another negative human interaction in the Gobi Desert is mining. The machines and drills used for mining destroy the habitats for many species. Actions like the hunting of Gobi bears has led the species to be almost extinct. Today, there are less than 50 Gobi bears throughout the whole desert. Humans have also interacted positively in the Gobi Desert. For example, they have fought to keep animals like the Gobi bear and the snow leopard from extinction. To conclude, deserts in China, especially the Gobi, are environments that are filled with life and are essential to the country. It is extremely important that these biomes are preserved the best way possible.